What's the gist, physicist? What up, Nerd Squad? Welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host, Connor Monroe, and today we're delving into more alternate versions of superheroes. Some are versions of themselves from alternate Earths, some are dark sides of themselves, and some are just themselves from another time. If you haven't yet or are new, be sure you hit like and subscribe for daily nerdy content. And while you do that, I'll start with today's list of the top 10 superheroes who hate their alternate versions. Number 10. Superman and Ultraman. Ultraman is Superman's evil version from Earth 3. Ultraman first appeared in Justice League of America number 29 in 1964. The whole theme of this universe is that roles are flipped on their heads. The villains are heroes and the heroes are villains. So when Supes ran into an evil version of himself, you can guess he wasn't too happy. Not to mention that this version was also cheated on by his wife, this Earth's Lois Lane, with both Batman and the Lex Luthor of this universe. Ultraman gets his powers from kryptonite, which is obviously going to cause some issues for Superman, who gets weakened by kryptonite, obviously. So if Ultraman always has some on him, Supes is screwed. Ultraman also used to gain a new ability for each exposure to kryptonite. If you thought Superman was overpowered, look at this guy. Ultraman and Superman have had a few encounters over the years. Ultraman even teamed up with the Lex Luthor of Earth 1 and 2 to take down their Supermen. But the Supermen were assisted by the heroic Lex of Earth 3. This is a mishmash and there is literally two different people. This is confusing, man. Multiverses, am I right? What about airplane food? Number 9. Captain America and the Grand Director. Captain America and the Grand Director have a complicated history. We all know how Cap was frozen after a battle in 1945 as revealed in Avengers number 4, but this wasn't always the case. Cap had a run in 1953 starting in Young Men number 24 and ending in May of 1954. The story showed Cap and Bucky as both superheroes and civilians, and it was clearly set in the 1950s, so how is this possible? If Cap was frozen until the 1960s, how is he getting plums with Bucky in 1950? Well, it simply wasn't the original Captain America. The 1950s era Cap was given other names to distinguish himself from his original counterpart, one of these being the Grand Director, his birth name being revealed in Captain America number 602, William Burnside. William idolized Cap to a point of obsession, like Professor Zoom to the Flash. The government sets him up as a teacher, but he wanted to be Cap, and had the formula to do so. So when Red Skull ironically attacks the United Nations, William injects himself and goes into action. However, the formula he had was slightly flawed, and ended up giving him psychotic symptoms. Throw some future brainwash in there too to have him become one of Cap's greatest villains. Number 8. Adam Warlock and Magus. There have been 3 different versions of Magus throughout the years. All of them are the dark side of Adam Warlock. The original Magus is an older, evil Adam who traveled to the past and rules over a religion called the Universal Church of Truth, and in a Flash Season 3 move wants to ensure his creation by guiding Adam down a series of steps to end up creating himself. But with the help of Thanos, Adam is able to destroy the Magus timeline, but he isn't rid of him yet. When Warlock retrieves the Infinity Gauntlet, he separated the good and bad parts of himself. The evil half names himself Magus and attempts to steal the gauntlet for himself. Adam is able to trap him in the Soul Gem, however. Adam himself becomes the third Magus when he attempts to repair the space-time continuum. This version is killed but resurrected as a child by the Church of Truth, but then is imprisoned by the Annihilators. Number 7. Hulk and Maestro. What's with people fighting future versions of themselves? In the Incredible Hulk Future Imperfect, we see Hulk brought 100 years into the future, where a nuclear war has raged and has nearly killed everyone on the planet. The future Hulk, known as Maestro, has been driven insane by constant radiation absorption and his continued treatment as a green monster. He has the intelligence of Bruce Banner, but has the strength and ideals of the Hulk. While Hulk is able to land a few good hits, Maestro is stronger due to the radiation and has more experience being from literally 100 years in the future. Maestro is able to snap Hulk's neck and decides to take him on a tour of the city. How romantic. Maestro is only defeated when Hulk is able to lure him back to the machine that brought him to the future, and Maestro is sent back to the moment the Hulk is created, appearing right next to the Gamma Bomb. It explodes and even the Hulk can't take that blast, absorbing radiation and gradually repairing himself. Number 6. Supergirl and Dark Supergirl. When Lex Luthor attempts to corrupt Supergirl using black kryptonite, he ends up creating a second, darker Supergirl. Due to prolonged kryptonite poisoning, this new Supergirl believed that her father sent her to Earth to kill her cousin Superman. This Supergirl also fought Lex Luthor, flying him to the moon and sending him flying through the walls of the Justice League Watchtower. There she also meets the Justice League and takes them down one by one. The battle between Supergirl and her dark version ranged from the moon to Gotham City. Dark Supergirl managed to switch their costumes, and it was only revealed who the real Supergirl was when Wonder Woman caught them both in her lasso of truth. The lasso was also able to merge the two back together because plot. Later another version of Dark Supergirl is brought out, but that's just a manifestation of Kara's pain rather than an evil version. Number 5. Thor and Ragnarok. When the Superhuman Registration Act became law, causing all people with superhuman powers to register with the government, Tony Stark, Hank Pym, who was secretly a Skrull, and Reed Richards created a clone of Thor from a strand of hair Tony found when the Avengers first started. This clone, who was eventually called Ragnarok, attacked the Secret Avengers during the Civil War. He killed Goliath and was shut down. In the Thor Siege story arc, Ragnarok was told that the real Thor was living on Asgard, which just so happened to be floating above Oklahoma on Earth. Ragnarok flew off to go confront Thor since he believed his resolve was that of a true warrior, unlike Thor. Ultimately though, Thor killed Ragnarok, so I guess his resolve was stronger. And his hammer. Number 4. Batman and Owlman. Owlman is Batman's Earth 3 counterpart, just like Ultraman is Superman's. The first appearance of Owlman was in Justice League of America Volume 1 number 29 in 1964, and is the older brother of Earth 3's Bruce Wayne. Owlman's origins are similar to Batman but differ slightly. His mother and brother were killed by a cop when his father wouldn't go in for questioning. Owlman, Thomas Wayne Jr., escaped the crime scene with hoodlum Joe Chill. He grew up to be Owlman and became a master criminal and ally to the crime lord Gordon, Earth 3's James Gordon. While they met in the comics, they have also met in the animation. In Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, Owlman is trying to destroy the planet. Batman goes to defeat him and winds up doing it, sending Owlman to another planet, causing him to blow up with his bomb, and costing Earth 3's Flash his life. Yeah, but Batman doesn't kill people. Number 3. Superman and Clark Kent. While we can all come to the consensus that Superman 3 is not the best superhero movie, you can see the hatred the characters have for each other, and it's almost as much as we have for the movie. This movie from 1983 has Superman and Clark Kent splitting and becoming separate entities for a time. But while in a junkyard, Superman goes kinda batcrap crazy. When they separate, Superman immediately proceeds to pound on Clark, even going as far as trying to crush him. When Clark says "I can give as good as I get," Superman tempts him, to which Clark pushes Superman into a vat of acid. What the hell? Do you not realize that the other is literally you? And that without them you're only half a person? This scene is so confusing to me, I don't really understand. Superman tries to crush himself. What? Number 2. Sentry and the Void. The Void is the negative aspects of arguably the most powerful of all heroes, the Sentry. It is more of a force and can take any shape it chooses. When teasing the Sentry, it usually takes human form, however. Sentry is fighting a constant battle to keep the Void at bay, and it comes into being every time he uses his powers. Sentry has even gone as far as wiping the memories of everyone on Earth as well as his own. When he gains his memories back, he can feel the Void returning, going to Manhattan for help. He begins remembering, and Sentry decides that the only way to stop the Void is by doing the same thing again. And with the help of Reed Richards, they reactivate the Watchtower and wipe everyone's memories again. Having the whole world forget about you, including yourself, is a mighty big price to pay. Or maybe it's not, because, I mean, you don't remember it yourself, so is anything really lost? Number 1. Future Flash and the Flash. 20 years from now, Barry Allen is blaming himself for the death of Wally West, since he, along with the Reverse Flash and Gorilla Grodd, had caused a tear in the Speed Force, making Barry lose time and making him not available when he was needed most. This causes him to go on a killing spree, killing the rogues to gain enough speed to travel back in time and correct his mistakes, because that's worked so well in the past. He kills Gorilla Grodd with a bomb that he plants inside of him, and this causes him to travel a dark path. He goes back in time, correcting things he wishes he could have prevented, meeting Mirror Master and preventing hostages from dying due to an earthquake. He drops the Trickster from a building only to have Axel's robots catch him, to which he is about to send them to their doom. That would have resulted in the death of a family, driving the Trickster to kill himself. The Trickster takes him up on the offer of redemption, and the Future Flash zooms away, no pun intended. The Future Flash then heads to kill Daniel West, tearing his head from his body just in time to prevent the accident that killed Wally. He then fights that version of himself and cripples him, knowing that he's going to go even earlier. He then arrives at the present. The Future Flash reveals that he wants to sacrifice the present day Barry Allen to close the Speed Force tear. But a future Wally West arrives, causing the Future Flash to fight both of them, ultimately killing them. He then remains in that time, trapped, and attempts to rebuild his future. You killed Wally when you were trying to save him, what the hell? There is nothing worse than sacrificing a past version of yourself because you're mad at them. Like, what? Does that even make sense? There we have it, friends, the top 10 superheroes who hate their alternate versions. Is there anyone you think we missed or that you'd like to see included if we do a part 2? Let me know in those comments. And while you're on your way down, be sure you hit like and subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for daily nerdy content. Be sure to ring that notification bell as well to be notified when we upload and because it makes it cooler. Thank you so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.